A female has turned on Brian. 10 of Cups. Which I kept saying, I felt like his mom was going to turn on him. And 10 of Cups is happy family card.
Was his own family suspicious?
Our source says several members of the family actually went outside to look for evidence.
7 of Swords reversed, getting caught. Yeah, I don't know if it'll come out or not, but I really feel like his mom said something. I know they seem to be taking his side and having his back. And maybe she didn't say something to the police. Maybe she said something to someone else who said something to the police. Maybe not even on purpose. I don't know. But, and it could be something innocent like talking to a friend of hers and being like, oh, that's crazy that they're looking for that car. My son has that car. Something like that. It could be something like that. Or it could be, I'm scared of my son. I'm scared of my son did this. It could be anywhere on that spectrum. But I'm feeling like something stemmed from a family member, either intentionally or not intentionally. And again, it could be someone else who called on behalf of something that a family member had said or they picked up on. Temperance.
According to our source, investigators learned the following. One of Brian's 2 older sisters, home for the holidays, brought up an uncomfortable topic. The sister had noticed Brian had been wearing latex gloves. She thought it odd. And at some point, the sister, quite loudly, pointed out that at the time of the murders in Moscow, Brian had lived just a few miles away in Pullman.
Page of Cups reversed. I was just thinking, I wonder if it's one of the sisters. Somebody had... It's like it's like the police were already working on a theory. And then somebody who knows the sister, one of the sisters, or has a connection with the sisters, turned over some kind of info or lead that like wasn't the lead that got him under surveillance, but it clarified something else that was already being looked into. And I don't think it's a huge deal in retrospect because they were already working on something else, but I think the confirmation that came from something was big. And I think it stemmed from someone who like knew the family, was looking into the family, something. Although that has me wonder, like, is it possible that someone who wanted to turn on Brian could have given that kind of information? Like someone who was in the same organization but felt threatened in some way. Made a little phone call like, hey, I know this girl and her brother fits this description, has this car, goes here. But it's something that it's not like someone gave this info to police and it was the police's first time hearing it. They already had it. They were already looking into him, but something was given to them that was a huge confirmation. But again, they didn't need the confirmation because they're already looking into it, but the confirmation definitely helped to solidify that they were going in the right direction. And for some reason, that is important. All right.
Thought it odd. And at some point, the sister, quite loudly, pointed out that at the time of the murders in Moscow, Brian had lived just a few miles away in Pullman, and that Brian drove a white Elantra, a car that law enforcement across the nation was looking for. Add that to the gloves, And the sister said she thought the Koberger family should consider that Brian might have killed the 4 students in Moscow.
When justice is served, it's going to be because someone in the person's family turns them in, and they're buying time right now before that happens. They're trying to use the public looking into this so much as at least a partial scapegoat in some way. I don't believe that the father is on board with turning in the person. I think it's just the mother, or it could be a sister, aunt. I don't think it's mother.
Our source says Brian's father said no, he didn't believe that. But then our source says several members of the family actually went outside to look for evidence in Brian's white Elantra, and they didn't find any.
He was very strategic about something before this arrest.
But by then, police had already observed Brian cleaning the car with bleach.
There's a connection from the killer to somebody else, and severing that line, like once the killer is named, it's going to put that killer's connection into a very bad light, especially because how everything kind of unfolded and how everyone's saying, you know, if you're this person's parent, it should be obvious. Like, why are you not turning them in? Kind of that. Well, once they are turned in, they're going to be experiencing that. Like, how did you not know? Why would you not turn them in? Why did you make the whole country go absolutely, like, so devastated over this for so long? Like, why would you not turn this person in? They're going to feel all of that. I almost feel like they're buying time until after the holidays because of I did say in my other reading that I felt like there's a feminine energy that's going to turn on the killer eventually. If it's not a mom, it's another feminine energy. They're buying time. The 10 of Cups here. The family card. And it's a woman handing the baby over to the man. And the King of Swords in reverse is in that pile. That's the killer. And the Ace of Wands in reverse is about really pointing to the element of buying time here. It's about a false start or kind of blocking a path temporarily. And the other thing I was thinking is that he was arrested at his parents' house. And I did say that I thought that the mom was going to turn him in, and it turns out she's a school teacher. I still think that's quite the possibility. Again, I'm going to look into it. Makes me feel like somebody is talking because it's about cooperation, like having an agreement. Somebody said somebody is talking. It's like it's like the police knew who they were looking for and had proof of him planning it or preparing for it. So they had most of their ducks in a row, but they were still missing either the weapon or somebody to turn on him, and they got somebody to turn on him. I don't know who it is, but somebody turned on him and gave them either they gave them their thoughts, and those thoughts confirmed whatever they needed to confirm, or they gave them some kind of proof or conversation or something. I don't know. But they had him tied to the planning of this and all of that. But it said that they were like watching his house for a couple days before arresting him. I think it's the mom. I really do. I feel like they were putting pressure on the mom, and the mom finally was like, okay. Let me pull a card for that, and then we're done for today. 5 of Cups here. Feeling you failed, feeling regretful, feeling in a period of mourning. That would be representing the mom's energy. I think the mom turned him in. I mentioned earlier how she's a school teacher, so maybe him being back in the area and her knowing this information, or coming to know this information, or figuring out this information. I think she started to feel like, is he going to do this again? Is this just going to happen here? Because if it happens here and it's far away from there, they might not really connect it if nobody really helps the case along. So I really feel like the mom turned him in. I really do. If not the mom, then some other feminine figure that's had some kind of information or contact with him or something. But the 5 of Wands in reverse, that's what that's saying to me, that there's some kind of agreement in place, there's some kind of cooperation in place, and you know he's not cooperating, so it's not coming from him. Because, okay, so I believe that Brian's mom has a lot of thoughts that she's not voicing, right? And obviously, rightfully so, she's, what's one card to how like the part of your consciousness that you have no control over, and it just thinks whatever it thinks because of past experiences and knowledge. That part of her brain, how would that part of her brain describe Brian? Addicted, and it has a guy with a bunch of knives in his back. Hyper focused on the pain that he felt earlier in life and unable to let it go. It's what directed every mistake going forward for him, because he felt like this character. He felt like he was just stabbed in the back, like emotionally. And he became addicted to that pain because it was the only constant in his life. The only thing he could rely on was knowing that the pain would be there. It almost became his friend. The pain became his friend. Which makes sense, because that's kind of like how a mother would try and think of it, instead of just being like, my son's a monster. It's like, my son experienced pain and became addicted to it, and that controlled everything. You know, Brian's expertise. Knight of Swords reverse. This is basically how Brian was described in his knowledge or privilege, because he was kind of forceful, bully, tyrant type of energy in his role at the school. I keep losing my place. Hold on, let me mark this off. All right. The mom turned on Brian. If not the mom, then another feminine energy with info or connection to him. Hierophant reverse. So yeah, that would be about like not believing the same thing, or like not believing him. 2 of Wands reverse. Plans falling apart. Yeah, that would also be, that to me would be implying that the mom, because that would be about not wanting to risk something happening in the new location that he just traveled to the old location from. So left Idaho, Washington, went to Pennsylvania. The mom not wanting to take a risk of anything bad happening while he was there. And then the Hierophant would be like, it's not typical for a mom to turn in their child in that way. Not that it's wrong, because in this case it's right if that's what happened, my opinion. But it would be about not believing him and not wanting to risk something happening with like the knowledge that she felt she had. Let's start with the prosecution. Let's do 2 rows of 5. What is the going on with the prosecution? 4 of Wands. So focusing on things that they got from his homes. This feels like more so home in Pennsylvania, parents' house. Six of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Somebody gave them something. Somebody talked about something and gave some kind of information that was very beneficial to the prosecution. This is like a piece of information that helps prove other pieces of information. So it's like a chain reaction of things shifting in a positive way for the prosecution based off of new information that they were given that proves or confirms or explains maybe something that they found in the home. The Hermit does make me feel like it's one person that came forward with information, at least this particular information. Four of Pentacles reversed. Underneath of the Four of Wands. They found something in the home that they weren't expecting to, and or something that they found in the home will be more helpful than they originally anticipated. Death. King of Cups reversed, Queen of Swords. I feel like it's a female who turned on him, and I've said that in previous readings, but the Queen of Swords here would be, that's underneath of the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like some kind of key piece of information given by a female that has turned on Brian. And Death is right under Nine of Cups. So yeah, they've gotten some kind of major piece of information, and it's redirecting the way that they're going about their strategy. Queen of Cups reversed underneath of the Hermit and next to the Queen of Swords. I still feel like his mom, allegedly, in my opinion, may have given information, led to certain information, gave some kind of tip or something. Because Queen of Cups reversed, King of Cups reversed, and in between them we have Death and Queen of Swords. I believe that either his mom gave information, or she gave information to somebody else saying, give them this information. So it doesn't come from me, but I need to say it. I'm going to clarify it for Queen of Swords, reversed Queen of Cups. Yeah, Seven of Swords reversed and Queen of Pentacles reversed. That would be like, I caught you, or I'm on to you, or I suspect you, or I found something. And then the Queen of Pentacles reversed, upright, it's like I feel as though the mom felt a lack of safety with something she knew, and with a combination of that and him being home. Like, she saw something, figured something out, came into some kind of information, and it was making her scared to not say something because of the potential for what that could allow to happen if she didn't give some kind of information. I don't know if we as the public will ever know that it came from her, but I do believe that she gave some kind of information. But again, it might not be directly through her, but whatever the information is, it's important. Three of Clubs, King of Clubs reversed. Yeah, this would be two people working together. And then the King is in reverse, and that's the father figure, so it's not coming from the dad. It's maybe she told somebody else so that they could give the information because she didn't want her partner to know that she was giving it. I feel like the mom was scared of like something bad happening to someone in that area. Like if Like, if I don't say what I know, it kind of opens the door for something to potentially go wrong in this area too. And if I say this and I'm wrong and it turns out not to be the case, then at least I don't have a guilty conscience feeling like I was just going to let it go if it was. What can we know about the information that they now know that was given to them? 8 of Swords reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, 2 of Cups, and the Magician reversed. Oh. It's almost like she caught someone lying to her or trying to confuse her or mislead her about something. And that was when she said, okay, I need to give some kind of information, or I need to say what I know. Even though I don't really want to, even though I'm scared or upset about doing it. Ace of Swords reversed, 2 of Cups upright, Magician reversed is like somebody's trying to manipulate me, and I don't understand why they're trying to manipulate me if there's nothing that I'm not supposed to find out. Like, if there's nothing to see here, what are you manipulating me for? What are you trying to mislead me or confuse me for? Let's see. We did his sisters in a previous reading, but let's just see their energy right now. 1 card for the sister that is a therapist in New Jersey. 1 card for the other sister that I believe it was like in a movie or like actress or something. And then 1 for the connection between them. 2 of Swords reversed. So this is the New Jersey sister. Page of Wands reversed. They're not really sure what to do. 6 of Wands reversed. So the actress sister is trying to stay away from people. Don't want to be seen. Don't want to talk. Don't want to be nothing. Leave me alone. I'm going to hide. New Jersey sister therapist is trying to figure out what to do because she's not sure. She's like, I don't know if I should hide. I don't know if I should be out. I don't know. And then between them, they're just not sure what to do. There's just a lot of confusion. There's a lot of how do we handle this? I almost feel like the sisters are not on the same page. Like, High Priestess reverse. Oh, and the Queen of Pentacles upright. Yeah, one sister wants to talk and make a big stink and say stuff, and the other sister is like, nope, quiet. Sit down, be quiet, don't say anything. They're not on the same page, and they're probably bickering. This isn't like... This isn't meant to be malicious, but it might not sound very nice. But it's what I see, so I'm going to say it. I almost feel like the problem between the sisters right now is less about Brian and more about their own image. Like, he got himself wrapped up in something stupid, and now our whole lives are kind of in the not going too great. Can't leave the house, you know, can't our normal lives were stripped from us. And I think that the tension between the sisters is not so much about what to do for Brian, but more so how to handle their new lives now. Like, how do we go out in public? How do we do this? How do we be okay? And I feel like one sister wants to, maybe it's like post on social media, maybe it's go in the news, I don't know. One sister wants to talk and the other sister's like, nope, shh, quiet. Don't, nope. It's bad enough. We're in the public eye enough. Be quiet. That's what I'm seeing here. Because if your child is coming to you saying, I'm being framed, I'm being set up, I'm this, I'm that, this happened and it's going to cause this, and they're not going to believe me if I tell them the truth, and the truth is this, blah, blah, blah. A parent could maybe not believe it, but really want to believe it. that could be where that division line came in between his parents, where his dad wanted to protect him because, hey, I'm being told this, in my opinion, this is something that came out in a previous reading. It could be like, hey, I'm being told the story that he's being set up, he's being framed, or this happened, or that happened. Or he could even say, oh, I was at the house hanging out with this girl and people came in and attacked them and they left me fine, but they're never going to believe me. It could be something outrageous like that. Like, he's very intelligent, and I think he planned all elements of this. And I believe that one of those elements was creating some kind of story that he believed would be passable to his father, so that he had something to present to say, hey, I need help because I'm this, I'm that, I'm being framed, I'm being set up, I got myself in a bad situation, but they're not going to believe the truth. The truth is I didn't do anything. Something along those lines.
But in high school, dramatic changes washed over Kohberger, according to several friends, including Bayless.
I believe it was the weight loss first. And I was, I want to say 14 to maybe 16, between there was the big weight loss. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And then it was the drugs.
How did he get started in drugs?
He got in drugs via an acquaintance of his. It was definitely heroin. It was pretty gnarly.
Bayless doesn't know exactly when Kohberger got clean.
I do believe, I do believe that on the killer's end of things, in the background, drugs are involved. On the killer's end.